Hi everybody, it's me again, Jules. This is going to be the final video of the night. I am posting a total of 4 videos. The first one is a pretty big Sephora haul. The second one is my a kickoff to my top 5 series that I'm going to start doing from here on forward, which is the one that I did today is my top 5 drugstore lipsticks, and the third video is my top 5 higher end lipsticks. And this video I thought I'd do anyway because I already made up my brows, but I wanted to do a comparison with two pretty popular products, I would say, for the brows, which is the Anastasia Pomade Dipbrow eyebrow gel, and also the Mac, which just recently became a permanent line in the Mac store, and this is the Fluidline Brow Gel Cream. So just to compare price points and like sizes, this one, the Anastasia Pomade, is $18 and 4 grams, whereas this one is the Mac Fluidline is $15, 3 grams. So if you're going by grams, the Mac one is a little bit more expensive and the Dipbrow is a little bit cheaper. Also, the packaging is a lot nicer if you care about that stuff. But Mac, this is their classic, glass container. So anyway, I just wanted to compare them very quickly. I have the dark brown color from Anastasia, as well as chocolate, which I'm going to be showing you guys. It's not that much different. It's just kind of like a different hue of brown. And then for Mac, they only really have 3 colors, one for redheads, one for brunettes, and one for blondes. So they don't have very many options, whereas with Anastasia, I think they have like 6 or 8 colors out there that are for different hair colors and undertones and things like that. So so I've already swatched these because I wanted to give it some time to dry. But this one right here is basically the Mac Fluidline Gel Cream. So if you can see, it's a little bit more on like the gray brown color. The middle one is the chocolate from Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade, and then the other one is dark brown. So these two are the Anastasia ones, and this is the Mac one. So if you look at the first and the last one, they kind of have the same undertone where there's that grayish hue to it. But I did notice that when you apply this one, it looks a lot lighter first, but as it dries, it becomes darker. So I'm going to show you that very quickly. So I'm going to show you dark brown from Anastasia and also dark brunette from Mac. Okay, so I'm just using an eyeliner brush from Smashbox. This is an old version. Their new version only has this white tip. They don't have the slanted tip anymore. So, which just kind of sucks because this is like my favorite brush to use when I'm applying my brows. So this is the Mac one. So I'm just going to do it right above it. So as you can see, when you first apply it, it's like a really warm color brown, but as it dries, it becomes a lot grayer. And let me show you. Oops. Dark brown. I cleaned off my brush just so there isn't any residue. But this one is dark brown from Anastasia. So to compare, this looks a little bit more, like a little bit darker, but it also dries up like a little bit grayer. And since we're swatching, I'm going to do the chocolate one as well. Sorry, I'm losing my voice because this is like my 4th video. Okay. So this is the Dipbrow in chocolate. So as you can see, this is a lot warmer than the other two. I think the description for chocolate is dark hair with warm undertones or something like that. But it's also the same for dark brown. I think like terminology is just a little bit different. But I've tried them both, and I'm an NC40 right now. I tried them both, and they are pretty good colors for me. And I also darkened my hair. I used to have highlights, but now it's all just kind of one color with a little bit of residue from like the prior color. But it's still a pretty good match for me. Anyway, I'm going to be testing these. I'm just going to run some water on my hands as soon as they dry up, just to show you guys the lasting effect. But meanwhile, while it's drying, I wanted to show you what I have on. So I don't know if you noticed, but these are actually two different products. So the one on this brow is the Mac Fluidline, and this one is the Anastasia dark brown. So they're actually like almost the same color. I think the dark brown, the deep dark brunette from MAC is a tad bit darker than the other one. And I tried to use the same amount of products so that it's a lot more comparable. As I was applying it, my observations were that it was much easier to apply the MAC Fluidline. It probably only took me literally 5 seconds, whereas with the Anastasia, it took me maybe 20-30 seconds to just kind of get the shape and the application right. So I think it's because this one is a lot more jellier. It's not really jelly. It's a lot more of a softer cream, whereas this is more of a thicker cream gel. So I had more control with this than I did with this. So there was like a lot more room for me to fix when I was using this, whereas this one is a little bit more precise. So because of that, I kind of lean towards the gel cream from Mac Fluidline a lot more than I do with the Anastasia. But the one thing is that I did wear Anastasia when I was in Arizona, where it was hot and humid, and it didn't come off, or it didn't melt as you would expect. I've only used this at a party one time, because I only just got this really, and I wasn't really like sweating or anything, but it did stay on all night. So those were like two different situations. So it's really kind of hard to compare right now, which is a little bit more lasting. But I can definitely follow up on that one as soon as I've used this somewhere hot and humid. But I wanted to do just like a quick test of rubbing using makeup remover as well as water to see if they really are waterproof. So let me just get a towel to put on my lap. Okay, so as I mentioned, this one is the MAC Fluidline, and these two are the Anastasia. So I'm going to start with the bottom ones because those are the ones that I've already applied earlier. So I'm going to rub them, and this is me rubbing MAC. So I'm rubbing pretty hard, as you can see, and it did come off slightly, but that's me like rubbing really hard. And then the next two, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to rub it. So this is a rubbing test. Okay, so if you look at the bottom one, it looks like they both are pretty good as far as rubbing. So I'm pretty sure if you're putting brow gel on, you're not going to be like doing any of the stuff, because that's a big no-no. So rubbing test is pretty good. Let's try it with water now. Let's have a couple of cotton balls, and I'm just going to put some water on it. Oops. I totally spilled that. Okay, so this is a wet cotton ball. You can't see it right now because of the glare. And I'm going to run this through the bottom line and the top line. Ooh. So nothing came off. This is the cotton ball that I use. So this is just mildly rubbing my hands. And again, it's still pretty good. It is waterproof. Okay, so that is with a wet cotton ball. I'm going to rub it with a dry cotton ball just to see if nothing really comes off. Oh wow, pretty impressive. There's no stain. Uh-oh, I'm wetting my laptop. But there is no stain on the cotton ball. I kind of feel like the intensity kind of faded a little bit, but it's still pretty good. And lastly, I'm going to use some Neutrogena makeup wipes, because this is the ultimate test, is using the wipes. So I'm going to rub my hand. That's first swipe. So it looks like the MAC is staying on a little bit longer. Second swipe. Again, MAC. And third swipe. Still MAC. So, okay, well, we've proven that they're both waterproof products. I think after that makeup wipe test, I think I would still lean forward to the MAC brow gel. It looks like it's a bit more waterproof, and this is me using waterproof makeup remover, so it lasted a little bit longer than the Anastasia, but I think both will work just as well in terms of you using it out where you're gonna get oily or sweaty. It's gonna work and it's gonna stand the waterproof test. But overall, just for my personal preference, I would still go with the with the MAC Deep Dark Brunette. It's a little bit more expensive, like I said, but you really use very little of it. I mean, this is me making a dent only because I've been playing around with it, but barely anything at all. And if you want to see a close-up look on my eyebrows, they look pretty natural, I think. I don't see any harsh lines. Also, I think when you're using these brow gels, the type of brush that you use will make such a big difference. So I was using like a stiffer brush and to sculpt, and then I was using a slanted, like a really soft bristle slanted brush to fill in, and that just kind of helped out with making sure that it's smoother. But anyway, that is my test, my Anastasia versus MAC brow gel test, and I hope that this was very helpful to you guys, especially if you're trying to decide which of the two you should get. Both products are awesome. I mean, I already bought 2 of each of all these because I don't have any brows, and if you guys watch my other videos when I don't even bother to put a brow pencil on, you're gonna see that I don't have much of brows. So the brow gels have been really saving my booty for the past week or two, actually for the past month, because they're just so easy to use. I mean, it takes a little bit longer than a pencil, but I think it's a lot more worth it. And you don't ever have to worry about it moving, whereas with pencils, they do tend to move a little bit. Even with powders, when I use the Anastasia powder, those are very easy to use as well, but I feel like they kind of fade a little bit towards the end of the day. So, yeah, so that's my review. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. This is going to be my final video, but please stay tuned and keep following me because I'm going to be doing, continuing on with my top 5 series. So, as the weekend goes by, I'm going to be putting up my top 5 cleansers, top 5 foundations, top 5 blushes, top 5 makeup palettes, and so forth. So there's plenty of ideas out there. If you guys want to hear any top 5 specifics, please leave your comments below just so I could put those together and rummage through my makeup case and see which ones I have that are my personal favorites. And any questions that you might have about the products, please let me know as well. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye!